Leading light Jacob Zuma came under the spotlight today at the Leaderex conference in Sandton. Professor Piet Nadir from the University of Stellenbosch argued that a breakdown of trust is President Zuma's biggest problem, as you cannot lead people once trust has broken down. Chief amongst the issues discussed at this year's conference was the development of future leaders. Business leaders identified key skills for the future as courage in the face of uncertainty, bold decision-making, and the ability to lead multicultural teams across geographies.
48% of what is produced in countries is exported outside of those countries. Your ability to export depends on your business development efforts. And your business development efforts are premised very squarely on how you relate and how you teach yourself the other cultures.
Well, other news out today, U.S. housing starts fell 3% last month, a possible sign that the markets may be leveling off after accelerating for much of the year.
Meanwhile, new applications for U.S. unemployment benefits fell by 11,000 to 264,000 last week. That's its lowest reading since the week ended July 18.
The Swiss Central Bank has kept its key rates at a negative 0.75%, but has said it would intervene in the currency markets if necessary to weaken the overvalued Swiss franc.
And UK retail sales volume rose by 0.2% last month, boosted by sales of clothing, particularly school uniforms. The largest drag on the figures was a 0.9% monthly drop in food sales. Let's quickly check in on the markets now. Of course, all ahead of the all-important Fed decision on interest rates over in the U.S. That comes through in roughly an hour's time. Ahead of that, the S&P 500 and the Dow are sitting pretty tentative right now and trading with slight positive biases. The Nasdaq, however, up 1/3%. Across the Atlantic, in the meantime, we had the FTSE pulling back, so coming under pressure after yesterday's gains, which saw it rise to a one-week high. That market falling back 0.7%, the CAC 40 gaining 0.2%, and the DAX ending its session flat.
Well, here at home, it was industrials and financials that helped propel the all share more than 1% higher today. Amongst those financials, we mentioned Investec. That share was up by 1.7% after that trading update just before it goes into a closed period. Amongst the industrials, SAB Miller continuing to rise today, adding another 2%. And of course, we had it gaining 18% yesterday on confirmation that it was in talks with AB InBev. Also, Richemont up by almost 2% today, and that share also gained strongly yesterday. The end result, as mentioned, all share up by 1%.
Well, that's our business and markets news. It's time now for a quick break. But when we come back, we tackle all things Rugby World Cup 2015.
Yeah, we're going to be taking a look at everything from betting odds to the economic benefits that England should derive from hosting that event. Stay tuned.